Welcome to the Margin Business Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Today we have a very special guest. It's Rupesh Sanghavi, and Rupesh is the founder and CEO of Airgrowth. I think Airgrowth speaks for himself, because it's a very well-known company out there, one of the leading forces in the e-commerce world, I would even say. Maybe some of you don't know the company, maybe some of you know it, but I am pretty sure here in the podcast, after we have been speaking about it, you will definitely understand what I mean with leading forces out there in the e-commerce world. So please, Rupesh, tell us a little bit more about yourself, about and about everything, how everything started. First, we like where all of this started. How can anyone get there where you are today?
Sure, Omar. Thank you for that. That's very generous and kind introduction. I appreciate it. I'm glad that at least we are making a difference in the domain of our choosing. So I mean, talking about the start point or the spark point was that I was actually like I'm a chemical engineer, and then I actually was hired to work on a simulation project. So like I had to have some software knowledge. The fun starts off. So and then like I mean put chemical engineering brain plus software plus I was searching on eBay for books. Okay, and I realized that hey, there was an opportunity for me to buy a book at less than $50 and instantly sell for $1,600. I said, wow, that you cannot go wrong. I mean, I wish I could have maintained that kind of profit margins, but no, I'm not there yet. But yeah, I mean, so literally it started with the book arbitrage, where I bought a book for $50 and instantly sold it for $1,600. And then from there on, it was, I mean, from there on, I scaled the business. I actually wrote some piece of earlier software. I used some of the available software at that time. I used actually Freelancer also to develop some custom software and started like buying those books in bulk. I mean, there used to be some sniper, okay, like I mean, okay, sniper in eBay world is little different, where they go and bid at the very last minute, and either you win it or you lose it, but nobody has a chance to overbid you. So that was quite an interesting concept at that time. Loved it. And so yeah, it was.
This is how it all started.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow, this is amazing, because you started on eBay actually. So what year do we talk about? Like really early in the process of eBay, like where it was still number one in the world, right?
Correct. Yeah. So it was like about 2004, 2005.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it was not that super early, but I was sourcing from eBay. I was selling on Amazon. So for Amazon, it was the super early days of Amazon.
Yes, it definitely was the super Wild West. The Wild West was in 2010. In 2004, you know, I bought on Amazon at that time, but I had no clue that you can sell there, you know. So I'm really I didn't get it so early, you know.
Yeah, it was a pre-golden rush.
Yes, definitely. So you mentioned really, from what I understand, is that you bought a book for $50 and sold it for 1,600.
Correct. And actually, the best part, it was pre-sold. So at that time, Amazon had this opportunity that people, I mean, when customer cannot find something, they can actually say that, look, whenever it becomes available, I'm willing to pay up like a price for that. So it was already pre-sold. And if as a seller, you can download that list. And as a seller, if you upload the same item, it will immediately be considered sold. So it was already pre-sold.
Yes. Wow, that's really great, you know. So from there, obviously, you say, yeah, I can sell anything, you know, if I can do this, great, you know. This is the first time I hear such a great, you know, profit margin on something like a book. I know books can sometimes sell for a lot of money, especially older books, but it's like art, obviously. And from there, did you move on? Like, did you spread out and understood, look, I need to do books? Where come the book idea from directly from Jeff Bezos, or
no, actually, that's quite an interesting. So, two parts to the question. So, first part is, so why I was looking for a book on eBay is because my wife then and now, I mean, like, we are married for 19 years.
Wow, amazing.
She wanted, thank you. So she was looking for a book that I can, so she decided to go back to college. And of course, college textbooks were enormously expensive at that time. So that's what prompted my search for the book. And believe it or not, books are one of the easiest thing to sell. I mean, yes. I don't know if it's Jeff Bezos' vision or he got lucky, but books are one of the most lucrative things to sell, and not only sell but also make a profit from it, in my opinion. So yes, so started with the book. And so once we did this first transaction, or I did this first transaction, next step was to scale that up in my own way on a bootstrap budget. So maybe I didn't think of starting a next Amazon at that time, but I started like that. How can I buy 100 books every single day and sell 100? And that was my immediate goal. And that is how we started scaling up.
Okay, I understand. So there was already, now you've seen the planning, then it went on. I mean, that's great that you had already this thinking, and then your team built up, and I mean, how did you slide afterwards into the big players room? Because actually afterwards everything, I mean, 2004, I mean, I can imagine how it went. It's bigger, and everything grew, and then we are now in 2023. That's 20 years of experience. So if you've done it right, and most probably you have done it right, then it would have worked. So how did it move on? I mean, at some point you said, okay, I need to resource somewhere, like I need to like keep the profit margin that I did with the book. And this is only possible when you manufacture. This is my guess, but tell me more about that.
Yeah. So sure. So, I mean, we are still not into manufacturing to the day, but the way we expanded beyond books is that, okay, like, I mean, once we hit the target of 100 books per day buying and selling, then the next target was that, hey, like, how can we, like, I mean, then buying became a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. So we started selling a little bit more. And at that time, Amazon also started expanding to different Amazon international venues. For example, UK, Canada. So we actually went international very early on. And after we sort of exhausted a book category, the next logical step was to start selling items that we can actually which are not books, but we can easily source. So we started going into non-books category, what I call, which is a vast universe. Yes. And after we did a non-books category, sort of we after doing non-books category, we realized that, forging a deeper relationship with brand would be super helpful. So that time we started doing a backward integration. So up until now, we were sourcing primarily from distributor, or what I call public sources. And now we started sourcing item from brand owners directly. So what happened is we started morphing into a reselling business. And after we kind of developed relation with over 1,000 brands, doing the reselling work for them, that is when we started. I'm sorry, I've taken too far along, but that is when we started acquiring brands, and now we have acquired 12 brands of our own.
Okay, so this is where actually Airgrowth came into play. This was the whole story, how it went there. So now, because this was my next question as well. So now you are actually as well an aggregator, and the first aggregator, actually, one of the first aggregator, from what I understand, because this is what most of the people don't know, that really you have been so early in the game, and before all Thrasio and all the other companies have been acquiring businesses, you have been already there and doing this before, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we have acquired businesses for a while now, and yes, I mean, I'm not sure if we are who is the first one, but we have been doing it for a very long time as well. And I mean, see, I'll tell this that we, in one of the presentation that we do about our company, we say that we have actually flipped the book on, like we have flipped the script of aggregators. So most aggregators, what they typically do is they raise a lot of capital, then they spend that capital to buy, to acquire brands, rightfully so, and then they grow that D2C brand, a mature D2C brand on Amazon. What we have done is we have developed the capacity to grow brand, be it our own or the ones that we resell for. Once we had that capacity to grow the brand using a worldwide workforce of over 600 people, then the next thing is we used our own capital to acquire brands. So we are very selective with our capital. We are very mindful about it. And then that is also, I mean, for us, the developing brand is where everything starts and not an afterthought.
Okay, for me, what you just said is very important, because I think as well, for the beginning, or even if you're bigger and you have Bootstrap, you can put your own money in, and it works. You know, right. It's better than raising capital. Obviously, can bring you to a whole other level. But still, if you manage, for me, like a real entrepreneur have managed this before, has done it this way, and if they then bootstrap, and if they then get funds, that's even better, you know. But if somebody, for example, goes into the game and gets, like, I don't know, you have seen the numbers, 12 billion. It was completely crazy in 2021.
Absolutely.
And then 2022, we're looking at 2 billion. So there was an upside down. So for me personally, if somebody can do it with their own power, like you did, that's amazing, because you have a lot more power over actually what you're doing. For example, the mistakes what other aggregators are doing, or let's not say mistakes, maybe what they could do different, you know, because if they do mistakes, they would not actually be there. But like differently, and what would bring more money is actually working more with agencies. Not trying to build in-house teams until they have like 700 people floating around, you know, because as Jeff Bezos said, you know, if you cannot feed a pizza in the team, the team is too big, you know, two pizzas, and then the team is too big. So this is really something I'm looking at when I look at companies who can really move fast in this economy where we are right now. Because if you're too big, you move slow, you're full, you know, that's the whole problem. So that's why I'm really looking at Airgrowth and what you're doing, and it's really amazing. And I'm sure that you already have a plan for 2024, 25, 26. And it would be, if you could talk about that would be great as well. Where do you want to go, and where do you want to take Airgrowth?
Absolutely. So I think our future is into be owner of as many brands as we can grow. It is not about number of brands. It's like how many we can actually meaningfully grow to a point, because I truly believe that each brand, each operating business comes with a very significant promise than it started with, right? I mean, we can always grow the category, we can always grow the offerings to, like, I mean, number of SKUs to the customer. So it's I mean, most importantly is how much can we grow, and also omni-channel, omnipresence is our vision. So have enough number of brands so that we can focus on it, not too many. Second is sell it across the board. I mean, for us, B2B is equally important. Everybody thought during and after COVID that maybe retail is gone for good, but no, not so fast. I mean, like, retail is strong and will remain strong. We are ultimately humans. We want to see products in physical space, touch it, experience it. So when I say omni-channel, I mean B2B, I mean our own websites and all this marketplace. The customers are everywhere. We as a company should be able to, should available and be able to serve the customer wherever they would like to be. So for me, that's omni-channel is important, omnipresence. Now, gone are the days when there was a clear divide between a developed and a developing countries. Now, every country has enough demand for all kinds of goods, be it a luxury good or a very a basic good. So if we can develop a good brand which is truly global, available around the world across all the channels, and growing at a very healthy rate, is how I see our business going forward. At the same time, I truly believe that our roots of resellings are not going to go away, because I mean, I can go into some technical details of be it cash flow, be it return on investment, the number of tons, the what we get in terms of the numbers we get as a reseller is not nowhere compared to we get as a brand owner. So as much as we would love to continue to ownership of the brand, we would continue to be a reseller of a very good products as well. It helps us build relations with our customers as well as build relations with different brands. So we are not going to shy away from that. And I think those are the two major driving factors, being a better reseller and being a better brand owners is going to be future of our business. Ultimately, I see that us becoming a one respectable and significant consumer goods company that people can identify as our good group of companies. That's how we see the vision.
No, definitely, because you as well, you mentioned that e-commerce. I can agree with that. E-commerce anyway, it's still a baby. You know, we're just beginning. It's you know, you can just see the percentage in the world. In the eastern part of the world, it's the percentage was very low, and there is so many people, which is a power to buy and have now the power to buy. You know, the credit cards will increase, the money will increase. So we are looking really at good times. And that's why sometimes when I hear, people say, oh, it's a recession, it's this and that. You know, I don't really agree with that, because when you look at the world, look at Saudi Arabia. If you have seen the numbers which came out yesterday for Aramco, they made more profits than Microsoft, Google, and few other companies together from their main oil company. So I don't really see where it's. I think it's all a point of view. And this is my next question as well to you. How do you feel about the current situation with the aggregators? Because most of the aggregators are from Europe or are from the US. How do you feel about that, and what do you think is going to happen next? Because now there is significantly not so many buying opportunities out there, and if they buy very low. What do you think where it's going?
That's a brilliant question, and I sort of see this aggregation as a business model can bring a lot of efficiency. I have a very high respect for all the fellow entrepreneurs who started this aggregator business. Most of them are highly skilled, great visionary, and very well motivated. What the way I see is is that this business is a very operation heavy business, be it in terms of logistics, in terms of nurturing of the brand. So it is, I mean, so because of the operation heavy, somebody has to, like, I mean, in this space, not only one is has to be smart, and but the most important is willing to work very hard, get the hands dirty, get into logistic space, get into very detail of the every product. So I think those who can build their operation capacity very quickly are going to benefit a lot from the efficiency improvement and scale they achieve through aggregation. Unfortunately, if someone cannot achieve that operation efficiency, I believe that it would become very difficult for them to continue running a profitable business.
Okay, I think this is really straightforward, and I agree with that as well. Because all of these big aggregators, they have big brands, or
Correct.
maybe in general. What do you think, or what is your favorite brand who is doing the business right at the moment? I mean, not aggregator, just a brand. Maybe they are operated by the aggregators, but in general, what do you think like is a good brand and which will grow really, really big in the future? Or your favorite, one of your favorites, maybe.
One of my favorite, I think, I mean, outside, like, I mean, the ones we operate are my favorite, but
Okay.
outside that, I believe that I'm big fan of Anchor brand, their public listed company.
Yes.
I think they've maintained their focus very well. They are not into too many categories. I'm not a big fan of electronics category for a different reason.
I know.
But I think as a brand, they've done very well building their presence online, making them a good, respectable name on their own. So this is a one brand that I'm a big fan of. I mean, I think they have done a great business managing brand.
Oh, definitely. They are e-commerce monsters. I call them monsters, because it's they are huge. It's
Exactly.
really that's really good. I wasn't thinking about them, but I really now I would say yes, you are right. They are really definitely one of the ones who done a really amazing job in their in the whole lifetime. If I have a few more questions for you.
Sure, please. I'm all...
if you have the full attention of the world for 5 minutes, what is your message to the world, to the entrepreneur, to anyone out there?
Oh, that's a big one. See, I like my favorite quote. There are many favorite quotes that I love, but one of them that has been circling my mind the most at the moment is that true entrepreneur is the one who is a time rich. Okay, I mean, if it's money rich, you are still either in like you're money rich, you are still probably working for yourself, but not an entrepreneur yet. Exactly. So entrepreneur is the one who is the rich with the time, and that's so I mean, I always advise. I mean, I've been mentoring few other entrepreneurs, and I always kind of tell them that, look, find the right talent, delegate, and monitor it. So that's my mantra. Like, I mean, I've been fortunate to have a great leadership in our on our team, and there is another quote: leaders are the ones who can create a leaders who are capable of creating other leaders. So fortunately, I've been able to motivate them. Maybe they had an inbuilt talent where each of our top team members have been able to nurture many leaders under it. just to give you an idea that like so many people, like, I mean, from ErgodE are in demand all over the local market because, hey, if they are trained in ErgodE, they must be good. So I'm happy about that fact that we have created this culture where actually people can join, grow, get exposure to amazing amazing work environment, and then of course, I mean, hopefully they can continue to stay. But I think we have created this mini factory of managers, which we are very, very proud of.
Great, because I'm asking this because what we do is of every guest we have on the show, we're going to take this quote, we're going to put your photo on it, and we put it as well on social media. So to remember the podcast you have been on and the quote that you have left with us. That's the purpose of the whole thing, and obviously as well to inspire others and to help others grow and understand better the entrepreneurship in general. Where can anyone get in contact with you or have questions about ErgodE or anything of the kind? Where can they find you, via email, or what is best? LinkedIn?
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm super active on LinkedIn. I'm always available. I respond to every single email personally. WhatsApp is another way to reach out to me. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I'm open and available in through all the communication channels. We are in this fortunate digital era where yes, I'm at least like email, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp are three major ways I'm like anyone can reach out to me.
Great. This was amazing. Thank you so much. It's a lot of value.
My pleasure.
We learned a lot about aggregators, about your company, about how you see the world and how you did it. And it's amazing. Thank you so much for your time today, Rupesh. And yeah, speak to you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you very much for your time, and you have taken best out of me, and I really appreciate it. You are easy to talk to, fun to talk to, and very thoughtful at the same time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.